So the most important part to your financial plan, second to your life insurance, is your emergency fund. So what is an emergency fund? Why do you need one? And how do you create one? Stick around and you'll find out. An emergency fund is pretty self-explanatory. It's just cash set aside in case if there's an emergency. So why do you need an emergency fund? Well, maybe you turn your four-wheel car into a three-wheel car and your insurance doesn't cover everything. Or you take a bite of a pulled pork sandwich and a piece of that pork gets stuck and next thing you know in the hospital. Good times. Or you need an oil tank because there's some drips coming on and you don't want it flooding your entire basement with oil. So that's a thing. Hey, so now you've seen a couple examples of what I've used my emergency fund on in the last few years. Let's see what you guys have to say. Put a comment in the comment below. So how much of an emergency fund do you really need? Experts recommend about 3 to 6 months of living expenses set aside in cash just in case if one of those emergencies were to happen. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add up all your monthly expenses, your groceries, maybe your car payment, your rent, your utilities, all those things that you have to spend money on every single month. Add that up, multiply that by 3 to 6, and that gives you exactly how much money you need. For example, if you have $2,000 in expenses every month, you need $6,000 to $12,000 in order to cover those emergencies. So you're probably wondering, well, Bart, that's all well and good, but I have nothing. I'm struggling in debt. I've got tons of bills. I don't even know where to start. Well, start with just a little bit. If you can, take $10, maybe $20 and stuck it in your sock drawer, right? Put it in the freezer, put it wherever. Maybe in a golf shoe stuck in your closet, right? So put it in any one of those places, just a little bit of money each month, and that'll get you started in cash. So one of the best ways to go about it is automation. And that really is, the first step in that is setting up a savings account separate from your checking account. Go to the bank, open up a savings account, and if you can, set up an automatic draft from your checking account to savings. When you automate things, things get done. Another thing you can actually do is you could go to your HR department at work. A lot of times the HR department will actually allow you to split your check into 2 different areas. So you can automatically put a little portion of your paycheck every single month into a separate savings account, and then the rest will go into your checking account for your other needs. So let's break it down a little bit further. So your first goal should be to set aside at least $1,000 in your emergency fund before setting up any other accounts or doing anything else in your financial plan. The reason for that is because you don't want to get into further debt with credit cards while you're trying to build your other things. So start with $1,000. Then after you hit your goal of $1,000, reduce what you're putting in by about 50%. So you've got 50% going into your emergency account from what you were doing before, and the other 50% of that money can actually start building your plan, eliminating debt and boosting your retirement and secondary accounts. I've linked a video for the 3 accounts you must have, so take a look at that, and that'll kind of break it down a little bit further. Okay, so now you've worked really, really hard, you've built your emergency fund, now what? Now you use some of the extra money, that 50% that was going in there, now becomes your fun money. You don't turn it off, you just allow it to keep flowing in, but now you have guilt-free fun money. Take a vacation, spend it on something fun. Your financial plan should not be this super, super, super strict thing that ties you down. It should allow you to have some freedom. So once you've established that emergency fund, feel free to have some fun as well. You've worked for it, you deserve it. Okay, so now let's do a quick recap. The first thing you should do, step number 1, was to figure out how much money in your emergency fund you actually needed. The second thing you should do is automate. Make sure that your automation is either from your checking to your savings or directly from your employer. Number 3, get to that first $1,000 if you're starting from scratch. Number 4, after you hit $1,000, split 50% off to handle the rest of your financial plan. Number 5, reach the 3 to 6 month mark. And then as a bonus, go out and have some fun because you worked hard, you deserve it. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate your support. I hope you guys are getting a lot of great information out of this series in building your financial house. If you love the videos, please subscribe, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps out our channel. And then make a comment below. Let us know what you've used your emergency fund for. Definitely curious. All those things, those little with the car and the oil tank and the hospital thing, that was all me. That was all in the last few months. So we had to use our emergency fund. I'm glad we had it. So again, thank you guys very much. Appreciate your time. See you in the next video.